Hi everybody, this is the Investing Teacher, high school science teacher, teaching others how to invest. In this video I want to go over the wheel strategy with ticker symbol BBIG. It's a stock that I've been doing the strategy with for quite a while now, almost 6 months. And I want to go over how to get pretty good weekly income and possibly pretty big capital gains. Right now is a very interesting time to be doing this strategy with BBIG. I do own a few shares that I'm just holding, but with a percent of my portfolio, as you'll see later, I do covered calls on it to help lower your cost basis and also bring in more money that could use for whatever you want. You could buy more shares, you could use that for spending money and whatnot. So like always, like, subscribe, smash the button and all that good stuff helps out the channel. Appreciate all your support, and let's go right to it. All right, let's look at the wheel strategy on ticker symbol BBIG. I'm going to go over the basics of the wheel strategy first. So what is the wheel strategy? Essentially, you're going to be selling cash secured puts, and you want to sell them typically out of the money. We will look at one that's slightly in the money, but you could do either in the money or out of the money and earn some income, as you'll see shortly. BBIG is paying a massive amount of premiums right now. And then if you're assigned, you could sell covered calls. If called, you sell your cash secured puts again and again. You turn the wheel over and over. And as you can see, you could do each of these steps at any real point. You could buy shares right away and sell covered calls. You could sell cash secured puts right away. When you get assigned, sell covered calls. Doesn't really matter much because a wheel is a circle and any direction is possibly a beginning, right? So why are we looking at BBIG? Right now, there's pretty high implied volatility. The main reason is there's a TYDE spinoff dividend. They're going to be doing Cryptide, which is Bitcoin mining, ENFTs, a lot of interesting new technologies, and they're going to be giving out those shares for people that were on record at a certain date. There is miscommunication on the dates. You could feel free to look at other YouTube channels that go over all that. Recently, I thought I was going to be able to get shares for Tuesday, but looks like that has now been delayed. And it doesn't really matter too much because we're looking to be getting a lot of weekly or monthly income here. They do own most of Low Motif. It is an app that's similar to TikTok, and it's getting a lot of popularity in India and other countries. They're doing a lot of music festivals. Um, they also acquired AdRiser. AdRiser is helping them bring in revenue, very similar to how Google AdSense works. They're starting to get a lot of data based on types of videos that people like, and then putting appropriate ads and advertising for it. The share price has been hovering between around 2 to around 3.5 the past few months. There has been some jumps, ups and downs, so it is a pretty risky proposition in general. But if you're in it for simply earning a lot of income weekly, it works out pretty well, as you'll see. This was a trade I did in January. So January 3rd, stock was around $2.40 or so, which is what it's approximately at right now. I was able to sell about a 6-week cash secured put at a $2 strike price. So it's a little bit out of the money. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 positions here. It paid me $33 in premium for just 6 weeks. If you do 33 divided by 2, you're looking at about 16.5% on your money in literally 6 weeks, which is a very good return. And these are the commissions. These are the total money I brought in. This is just one of many examples I've been doing, selling cash secured puts at a lower price. Some of those shares I did acquire, and then I would turn the wheel, sell covered calls on it. Other shares, like these, for instance, happen to expire worthless, and I was able to keep that 16.5% in 6 weeks. This is the stock price of BBIG in the last few months. You can see the chart on the right. The high in the last few months was around 3.82 or so, and the low was around 1.94. But it has been hovering between this 3.8-ish to 2 range for quite a while now. Again, notice there are quite a bit of jumps up and down, but as you'll see, you could take advantage of that volatility in the stock price and earn a lot of income. So we're going to go over 3 main strategies you could do with this, and feel free to do any type of these strategies you want. You could do multiple versions if you'd like. First one, sell cash secured puts, possibly at 2.5. That is a little bit in the money because right now BBIG is around 2.4. You could also consider selling the $2 strike price. So the stock's at $2.37. The $2 strike will pay $6. But if you do 6 divided by 2, you'd get 3% on your money in 1 week. And as you saw in the chart before, there's a fairly low likelihood it's going to go down to 2. The TYDE dividend might come any day now, theoretically. And when that happens, the share price will probably fluctuate, but possibly go up. If you decide to sell the 2.5 strike, which again is a little bit in the money, they'll pay $30 in a week. You're looking at over 10% on your money in a week's time. This is from Thinkorswim. The right side are your puts. Right now, the bid is 6, ask is 7 for the $2 strike price. That'd be a good conservative play to do to earn 3%. If you want to be a little bit more risky, you could sell the $2.50 strike price. The delta is only 0.54, so pretty much coin flip odds it will get to that price by next Friday, but earn massive premiums on it. You could actually buy over 10 shares of stock, quote unquote, for free from these premiums that you collect. Now, let's say you're assigned on any of those shares, you can then sell covered calls at the same strike price that you were getting the shares for the cash secured put. So right here, if you see the $2.50 strike price, you get $12 to $13 in a week on the other direction. This is when you already own the shares at 2.5. You'll be taking in money to possibly sell them at that same 2.5 strike price. But as you can see, massive premiums on both sides of that wheel strategy. Another one is to buy shares and then sell covered calls a little bit out of the money for the possible TYDE dividend where you could get the shares. So for instance, you could buy 100 shares at $2.36, sell the next Friday $3 call, make $4 on your money, which is almost 2% on your money in a week. If BBIG ends up being under 3 next Friday, just sell another covered call at the same $3 strike price if you want the week after. Keep bringing that money every week. If BBIG happens to be over 3 next week, that'd actually be a good thing. A lot of people think covered calls are bad if you lose your shares, but you could get a very good return here. You'd make $300, 3 times 100 shares, plus the $4 that you're collecting. So $304 minus the $2.36 you bought the shares at. And you divide by the same $2.36 that you bought the shares at. When you do that math, you get a 28.8% return in a week. I'd be very happy with that return. Even if BBIG happens to skyrocket and go to double digits or triple digits, which some other YouTubers are thinking, I mean, won't necessarily be that bad if you're getting 28.8% return in a week, in my view. Now, strategy 3 is what I've actually been doing. You're going to buy shares and covered call a certain percent of them. You don't have to sell covered calls on all your shares. And then you could hold some for that dividend. So what I do is I sell covered calls on about half of my position. It does help lower your cost basis, bringing in money every week, brings in that weekly income, and you might take advantage of that short squeeze from the shares that are uncovered. So 50% are covered. If I could sell at 3, it's a good return. If it goes past 3, I'd also take advantage for some of those other shares that are uncovered. You can also buy your shares or your premium to receive. So if you're selling that covered call at 3 for $4, you could get almost 2 shares for free, quote unquote. And then you just keep doing that. Those shares might possibly moon, and you'd get a lot of return from there. So again, that's the basics of the wheel strategy using BBIG. You could do it with a small amount of money, about $236 if you buy shares, only $200 if you sell that $2 cash secured put, and you could be bringing in quite a bit of income. So if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I read and respond to all comments. If you have any questions at all or thoughts on the strategy, there are a few deficiencies. Obviously, if it moons, you wouldn't get a full amount of the profits. You'd be locking in some of those gains via those covered call strategies, but just trying to take advantage of that implied volatility and bring in that weekly income. So again, I'm the investing teacher, high school science teacher, teaching others how to invest. Be good out there, trade wisely, and I'll talk to you guys next time.